think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today me and Lauren have headed across to Duxford, which is pretty local to us, to attend the H&H Classic Car Collector and Performance auction. Let's have a wander around and see what's going under the hammer here today. We're starting off in the interior of this Capri. It's a 2.8 injection special. This is a 1987 Capri. It looks in really good condition compared to most Fords of these years. Not a single bit of rust on it. Here is the engine bay of the Capri, V6 injection engine. Very clean, signs of old wax oil as well, which is always good. A quick look on howmanyleft.com suggests that there's only 354 Capri injection models registered during 1987 that have survived to this present day. That's pretty interesting. The Capri has covered a total of 112,000 miles and it has got MOT until June of this year. The estimate is 18 to 22,000 pounds. I'm branching out today, so there's not a lot of Fords in the auction, so we're going to be looking at all sorts of cars. So this one is a 1968 Jaguar S-Type 3.8 saloon. I'm not sure why it did, but it just stood out to me. This car is actually from South Africa and was only registered in the UK September last year, but it is really in immaculate condition. One thing I have just spotted though, when people like restore cars and they leave the hinges on and the check strap, they're all colour coded now. I don't really like that. I like seeing shiny bolts and shiny hinges, but it is what it is. The Jag has got 35,000 miles on it. I'm not sure if that's warranted or not, but if it is, then it's a very low mileage survivor. Here is the straight six in the engine bay. Very presentable. Anyway, the estimate on this is 16 to 20,000 pounds. Wasn't long before we found a Mini. This is a 1986 Mini Mayfair. This Mini Cooper has had some modifications done to it. These are some 13-inch late Cooper S model Mini Light style alloys. As I've already mentioned, this was purchased as a Mini Mayfair with a 998cc engine, but an enthusiast has put their stamp on it and they fitted the Mayfair with a 1275cc engine and a manual gearbox because this was originally an automatic. The Mini has also got some modified suspension along with other bits. I'm not sure if these arches and side skirts are original. It's got MOT until September 2023 and it's actually a no reserve car today. It wasn't long before we ended up into another Ford. This is a completely different Ford, an American one to be precise. It's an F100 pickup. Just looking in the engine bay of this truck, there's the 3.7 litre straight six engine. So much room in here. The F100 has lived in California most of its life and had a full restoration before it came over to the UK in 2016. And the estimate on the style side pickup is 13 to 15,000 pounds. How about this then? I think we've gone from classic to vintage. 1926 Ford Model TT truck. So basic under here, but it's still on the road and it's only 3 years off being 100 years old. The truck was discovered in America in 2021 and brought over to the UK. It was registered here in October 2022. Here is the 2.9 4-cylinder engine, very basic. The estimate on the truck is 13 to 15,000 pounds. just come into another tent here. I've been drawn straight away to this 1980 Austin Mini 95 pickup. I'm absolutely loving that steering wheel. The Mini pickup has covered 90,000 miles, still on its original 10-inch wheels. Love them. The Mini pickup had a extensive restoration in the early 2000s. I doubt this is the original cover, but this is really nice. It could be the original cover. Just checking out the engine bay. The Mini pickup has actually been MOT'd, even though it doesn't need one. It's nice to know that when buying it at auction that it's got an MOT on it. Just been reading up, and I think the reason why this Mini pickup is in such good condition, it used to be part of a museum collection, then it went into a private collection, so it's been looked after. And the estimate is £12,000 to £16,000. Here we have a 1975 T2 camper van. Few modern touches in this camper. These big seats, fairly sure they didn't come with them seats. You got like a modern switch panel there as well. I did think this interior looked really nice. It's been all redone, reupholstered. It cost a grand total of £9,500. I think it looks brilliant. I'm assuming all the seats have been done, along with the door cards, because they match really well. This camper was purchased in 2018 as a restoration project, and the vendor has restored it all, including bodywork, interior and bits and bobs. It now features a big bore Super Street 1641cc unit. The vendor estimates he spent £35,000 on the 2-year restoration, and the estimate is £20,000 to £25,000. Here's another very classic interior, a Morris Minor 1000. Diddy little engine. It's a 1098cc. Fun little fact now, so for the 23 years that they produced the Morris Minor 1000s, there were 1.3 million produced in England. Anyway, today at this auction here at Duxford, it's got a no reserve, so we'll see what this goes for. We found another truck, this one being a 1929 Morris Commercial R-type truck. Check out the engine. This produces 15.9 brake horsepower. Looking very original in here with its wooden cab. Very original indeed. It's clearly used for recovering vehicles. Got a big old crane on the back to hitch up the cars to. The estimate on the Morris Commercial is £13,000 to £15,000. We are now inside of part of Duxford Museum, where there's more cars. This is a little Fiat 500, 1975 one. It's in really good condition. Left-hand drive. This Fiat 500 originally came from Italy. It was supplied new there, and it came into the UK in 2019. Before coming to the UK, the little Fiat 500 had a bare metal rebuild, fuel tank up front along with a spare wheel. You can tell it's had a restoration because it is literally immaculate. This Fiat 500 has got the more powerful 499.5cc engine, and it's covered just 52,000 miles. It wasn't long before we stumbled across this Sierra Cosworth. Everyone went mental about that one at Silverstone auctions, which I looked around, went for like £600,000. This one features a very original interior. It's quite dark in here though, so apologies for not being able to see the interior in the best light. This Cosworth has been in long-term storage. It came out and had an extensive restoration. It didn't need a lot of work apparently, and it's been repainted in its original moonstone blue. The Sierra Cosworth has only had 3 owners from new. The Cosworth engine was rebuilt at 88,000 miles. I just looked at the speedo and it says it's on like 3,000 miles now, so whether they reset the clocks or not, I am unsure. But it does come with a fresh MOT certificate. Anyway, the Sierra Cosworth is estimated 60 to 70,000 pounds. Here we have a 2007 KVA GT40 Evocation, which in short terms is replica. Still looks the part though. The GT40 has got a 5 litre V8 in the back there. It's got MOT until June of this year, and it's estimated 40 to 50,000 pounds. We found another RS200. I feel like I've seen so many of these recently. This is one of just 49 left-hand drive road-going cars that were made. That's the interior with some different harnesses. This is a 1988 model. The RS200 is only displaying 11,800 miles from new. Some history about the RS200. It actually passed through the hands of Gates Ford dealership in Harlow, which isn't too far from here, and then it went to joining Dick Van Dyke's private museum collection during 1994, and it only was showing 9,000 miles back then. Even though this car has only averaged 140 miles per year, the owner has recently spent £4,500 with engine work, including decoking the cylinder head, honing out the cylinder bores, new piston rings, recut valves. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you guys a bit of the history about the RS200. The estimate is £180,000 to £220,000. Let's see what that goes for.